YouTube, salute. It's your boy King Kofi. I'm back, man. I told y'all I was coming with another interview, and we have a special guest to the channel, man. Since we passed 10K, this artist right here. Shout out to my subscriber, Colomite, one of my comments on B.the.God. And I was like, when I first heard him battle rap, I'm like, this dude is nice. Not just nice, it's just the stuff he was saying. Then I went to go listen to music on YouTube on my own time, and he reminds me of Public Enemy, Dead Prez, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, the more I'm talking about people in that echelon status, like for real. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and enemies, B.the.God. It's a pleasure to have you on my channel, man. It's an honor and privilege to have you right here.
Honored to be here, bro. Appreciate you, King.
How you doing though so far during this pandemic and everything else, this in general?
It's been rough, you know, trying to reevaluate. Watch out, Malcolm. Reevaluate life and everything, and how to go about it. And obviously, in this new day and age, and everything seems to be changing. So it's been a little rough, but you know, we gonna make it through.
That's right. That's good. Everything, you know, as long as you're healthy, you happy, you woke up again, that's always a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
So where did you get the name? Before I even ask that, can you tell the people, because there's a lot of people on my channel gonna be like, okay, who is this artist? They probably never heard of you. Or you have your following, your fan base that do know you, but maybe give them like a little background about you.
Okay. Just in general, or with the music, or what?
General and the music.
Okay. Well, obviously, I go by the name of B.the.God. That's my artist moniker. Grew up out here in the San Fernando Valley, which is basically Los Angeles County out here in California. Grew up playing sports and rapping and stuff like that, and just always being involved in hip hop culture at an early age. My father was in the music business as far as back as I can honestly remember. He worked with the likes of Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, even Michael Jackson. So I just grew up. I grew up a hip hop artist pretty much. Like, you know, I always knew I wanted to rap from an early age. I was rapping about 6, 7, 8 years old. So yeah, it's just something that's always been in me. So now you know, I'm using it now that I'm trying to put a purpose to what I'm doing. I'm using it in a sense to protest, if you will. You know, using my voice, using my artistry as a form of a protest, if you will.
Okay. In San Fernando Valley, y'all, I was just out there yesterday hanging out with some people. My wife's one of her tightest friends and her husband, and it was good. So a lot of people are probably looking like San Fernando Valley, but it's still LA County. So just want to let people know that, so they can be like, huh? Because, you know, a lot of people they're not geographically savvy. So we have to explain that to them. But as far as hip hop, rap, who influenced you growing up? Name some of the artists, man, that you was like digging back in the day, or like, damn, this person right here.
Man, I hate to sound cliche, but I would have to say Jay-Z, Biggie, also Scarface. Scarface was a huge influence for me coming up. Yeah, those guys, you know, at earlier ages of my life, those guys. As I got older, I started to get more into guys who I would say are conscious rappers, or guys that kind of like talk the same talk that I talk now. Mm-hmm. Those would be like the Mos Defs and the Talib Kweli's, the Black Thoughts. Who else? That's a cat named Blue out of the LA area. He's not really well known, but he's really dope that I like. So yeah, I would say those guys that I named pretty much shaped and molded my artistry for sure.
Okay. So everybody can know what's going on. That's right, man. And every artist you name, I love, and I bump them all the time. And they actually, you know, help me get through my days, even when I'm working out or meditating, whatever. Just just that influence right there is like the message is being sent. You know what I'm saying? Like I can easily pick up a book, but just listen to that music is still just being a scholar on wax. To me, that's what it is.
For sure. Yep. 100%.
Who are some of your favorite scholars, heroes, maybe like African Black leaders that you grew up, you know, reading about, listening about, watching their documentaries, and why?
Man, so many. Ashwa Kwesi, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Yosef Benjo Cannon, Theophilo Banga, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Man, it's so many. I could go on for days. Professor James Smalls. It's so many. I would say in the reason, all the reasons are the same. You know, they teach about our history. They teach about, do you want to come outside? Come on. They teach about our history. They teach about, Black liberation. And just early on for me, like when I first came into the conscious community, you know, I was just watching lectures, man. It was, let me not forget one of my favorite leaders, Khalid Muhammad. And also let me not forget Malcolm. Yeah, also let me not forget the Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I could go on and on and on, right, about those guys and everybody that has put in work for our people. But yeah, man, just when I came into consciousness, I just started watching a lot of lectures. The lectures were good. The debates and the lectures were good because it gives you a wide range of topics that are covered in both ends of the spectrum, so that you can gather your thoughts without any type of biasness or anything like that. You're able to just objectively look at the facts and what's presented. So once I started doing that, man, it just opened up a whole new world for me, man. And primarily, you know, I was watching a lot of Dr. John Henry Clark lectures and debates, Khalid Muhammad lectures and debates. Yeah, just all that stuff, man. All that stuff kind of just helped mold and cultivate, you know, my new being, my new worldview, you know.
Every scholar, leader he just named, y'all, please, you know, research them, Google them. If you never heard of those people before, purchase some of their books. Trust me, very informative, and it'll wake you up. And two things, Ashwa Kwesi is my wife's godfather.
Word?
Yes, that's her godfather.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a quick twist with the story with that, but that's her godfather, and Dr. Yosef Ben Yakin mentored her father.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like we connected, brother.
Yeah, y'all right there. Y'all right in the midst of things.
Yeah, so it was like a blessing in disguise when I met her. When I met her through her father, whatever. So it was like I knew I only could be with somebody that was gonna be on that level.
On the same level.
Myself as too militant. Like, no, they're gonna run.
Yep, that's a fact.
That's good, man. I'm glad you telling us about some of the scholars, the heroes. You know, that made me feel good. Are there any books that you're currently reading, revisiting right now, and books that change your perception of life?
Yeah, absolutely. I have to reread Yurugu by Ani Marimba, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
I have to read. Are you coming back out? I reread Yurugu, or at least attempt to reread it every couple months, man. Probably like every 4 to 6 months, man. That book definitely changed my life. That book definitely changed my life. I mean, she put everything into perspective so eloquently and just so clearly. That I tell people all the time, to me, that's like the Pan-African Bible, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such an important piece of literature, man, and what she was able to do. Just amazing work. So that's my go-to book for sure.
Okay, good. That if y'all want to purchase that book, the book is spelled Rurugu.
Yep.
That's it. So it's a good book, man. I have it in my library back there. So I just wanted to let y'all know. Any books you recommend for your fans, maybe people just first time hearing about you? They, you know, because the people, you know, a lot of people on my channel, they love not just the artists, but they love their you know, perspective about a lot of things that goes on in their life. They're always trying to figure out, like, okay, where he getting his information from. So any books you want to maybe recommend?
Yeah, you know, I have a personal favorite. Just for me, I really like this book, and I like this person's views on things when this individual was alive. But it's a book called On God by Krishnamurti, and more than anything, it's a collective of his speeches. Krishnamurti, I believe he was like this Indian dude. I believe he practiced Buddhism or something like that. But his philosophy and his worldview is really, really interesting to me. And a lot of the things that he has said in his lectures and stuff about theology, just about spirituality in general, just really, really interesting stuff, man. Really, really, really inspiring, interesting stuff, man. So that's one of my personal favorites. It's outside of, I guess it could be considered outside of the African ideology per se, but it's something that I delved into and I checked out, and it resonated with me personally. So I would say that one for sure.
Okay, for sure, y'all. So just wanted to let y'all know y'all getting that information. All right, what you think about the current state of hip hop rap right now?
Man, it's a mess. No, the doggy doesn't want to come outside. It's a mess, man. It's a mess. And I would say that the gatekeepers, the older generation, didn't really crack down and crack the whip on the younger generation. They kind of let them say, this is their time to shine. This is their generation and all that. And here we have it. We have a generation. Okay, go ahead. We have a generation of MCs or artists, I should say, because they're not really MCs. We have a generation of rap artists that promote drug dealing and, all this violence, all this just backward stuff. To me, it's just crazy. And it's just crazy that the older cats that put it down, like the Jay-Z's of the world, don't really crack down on it. They don't really say nothing because they don't want to cause no division. Mm-hmm. But it's like, at what expense? Like, why are you worried about a division when we got young kids that are following this as a lifestyle? So they listening to these lyrics from these little whoever's, and they mimicking the lifestyle of drug abuse and violence and all these guns in the videos. It's just kind of just out of control at this point. So I would say, man, honestly, the hip hop state is kind of in shambles from that perspective, from like a rap perspective. But as far as the complete culture, it's still intact. But I just wish some of the rappers, some of the OGs of the game would speak up a little more often. I think that would change a lot.
Yeah. I agree with you about that, and that's one thing that hurts me. I'd be like, dang, man, like, y'all use your platform. I mean, because people, they might not want to admit it, but a person like you're a role model. You're inspiring people around this world. Probably somebody come across your page on Instagram and be like, wow, look what he just said. They might just, like I said, you referencing the books you read and people that put on, people are gonna go write that down. Like, okay, I want to study that. It's compared to somebody telling somebody, oh yeah, go do this, go do that. And you put that person in a position to actually lose their life or just lose, what life is about, really.
Right. Absolutely. Agreed.
Some of your favorite sports teams, athletes, growing up and currently.
Oh man, that's a hard one. I grew up playing football and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually played D1 and all that. Oregon State. So I'm a big football.
Beavers?
Yeah. Yep. Oregon State Beavers. Yep. So I'm a big football head, man. So my team, I don't know how I feel about them currently, but my team has always been the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. So Cowboys fan. Favorite players have always been Bo Jackson, Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Randy Moss. Who else do I really like, man? Michael Vick. Mm-hmm. Primetime, my favorite player of all time. Primetime, that's my guy right there, my favorite. Yeah, man. And then all sport. I'm a football guy, but I love all sports as well. So Michael Jordan's, Kobe was my guy. I was heartbroken when he passed, man. Kobe was my guy. Shaq, that whole Lakers era, growing up out here, being out here, that Lakers team from, I believe it was 99 to 2004, 2003 or something like that. that whole Lakers squad. Yeah, man, big time Laker fan, Cowboys fan. What else? Track. I love track too. You know, Michael Johnson, Usain Bolt. Man, all that stuff, man. I grew up playing all those sports, man. So I'm a big time sports fan.
Okay. Now, this is a question which is going to be good. I always ask people, have you ever traveled to Africa or any country throughout the African diaspora?
I haven't, man. I actually, last year, I had hopes of going this year. But unfortunately, I had like a lot of changes in my personal life that kind of just threw that off track. So I'm hoping maybe by the end of this year, I'll be able to get back on track with potentially going next year.
Okay.
But that is a goal of mine, man. I think that's a must. That's an absolute must. I don't even know what country I would want to visit, really. I think it's cliche to say, you know, Egypt and all that, because that's where everybody goes primarily. Yeah. But although I want to go there and see that, I would be a lot more interested in West Africa. You know, I feel like that's our true roots that we can actually claim, you know, directly. I know we can always make the connection, of course, to ancient Kemet and all that, but I know that I can directly trace the roots to West Africa from the transatlantic slave trade and all that. I can go straight there and know that that's exactly where my people is from. So I will definitely want to go there. I just don't know which country I would want to visit yet. Okay.
And hopefully, y'all, when he decides what country he's going to visit, he'll let y'all know on his IG. So those fans out there, maybe if they want to, you know, be in contact with you, that'd be a blessing for them. Because I already know you got a big fan base on IG. I've noticed. I was like, wow. I was very impressed about that, man. For real, I was very impressed.
Thank you. Yeah. That's primarily from the battle rap stuff, man. Yeah. So it's okay. The battle rap stuff has definitely, you know, garnered me a lot of attention that I probably wouldn't receive otherwise, just through the music. You know what I mean? Because battle rapping is its own little niche market, you know what I mean? So yeah, I was able to tap into a pretty good fan base through battle rapping.
Do you like battle rapping more than making, like, you know, your music as far as like mixtapes?
Absolutely not, man. It's really rough for me. It's such a contentious, divisive, destructive sport. Like that's the point of it. You're supposed to humiliate your opponent and tear him down. So I do that, but I also try to give people something to take. You know what I mean? It's in the house. Go ahead. I try to give them something to take with it, to grow from, something that could be like applicable to real life. You know what I mean? So I try to have that balance with it. But nah, man, I'd much rather make music. If I could make music and garner the same type of attention, man, I would much rather do that. But yeah, battle rap, it's fun. I like doing it, you know, and it's obviously getting me a nice little fan base. So, you know, I'll continue to do it as well as make my music simultaneously.
Okay. You have a new EP coming out, am I correct?
I put one out last year.
Okay.
Last year, June 14th, I put one out. So you probably just see me post about that. Like the year anniversary for that. However, I am in the works of making a new EP or album. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I got a couple records that I'm working on. So yeah, I'm definitely shooting for like a fall release, maybe a wintertime release of some new music for sure. Yeah.
What's the
Stop yelling.
What's the name of the EP that came out last year, just for your fans and the people maybe never heard of it, so they can probably go check it out. So
What's the video?
It's called Coming Forth by Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a website people can actually purchase it?
No, I don't have a website where you can purchase it, but it's all over on all streaming platforms, like, you know, iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, all those. You can just type in B.the God and type in Coming Forth by Day, and it'll pop up. You can stream it. I believe you can stream it, and you can also stream and or purchase on the Apple. On Apple, you can purchase it as well. So
okay, y'all. Please support him, man. Please check it out, y'all. I mean, this is real hip hop right here. He's, like I said, he's representing. Now, I want to talk about something that I know a lot of subscribers on my channel people that's going to probably come across this video on YouTube, you know, this is your platform now. How do you feel? You know, this is nothing new to us when we see Black people being murdered, lynched, castrated by the police.
Right.
You know, a lot of people seeing George Floyd, the video footage.
Yeah.
Them seeing something like that, like, oh my God, this goes down. Like, hold up, this has been going on. No disrespect to George Floyd, but we've been seeing George Floyd's all our life, Emmett Till and beyond. So many people, we don't even know their names. How does it feel right now in 2020 with all the protests that's going on, not just in Los Angeles, Minneapolis, but this is more like a worldwide movement?
It's global. It's global. Yeah, man. It feels great. It feels good. And then at the same time, it's a little bit of skepticism. I have to be honest, you know. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I mean, obviously the pandemic sat everybody down and gave everybody nothing to do but to pay attention to things that are really happening. So once George Floyd happens, it's like, you know, the whole world is paying attention to it, which is a great thing. You know, however, it's still like a little bit of like, wow, y'all just been ignoring this whole time, all the stuff that we've been going through, and we supposed to all be human beings, and now everybody wants to get on board, you know. So it's kind of like a give and take with it, but I'll take it. You know, I'll take it if everybody wants to be involved with the movement and wants to preserve Black lives and preserve Black lives and care about Black life. I'm for that. However, I just want to make sure that our people maintain the grasp of this movement and don't let it get hijacked, you know, by other organizations and other agendas. I want to make sure that our agenda is the primary focus. You know what I mean? Okay, sit down. Told you my kids was gonna be all over the place.
It's all good. Hey, that's family. Don't worry about that. It's all good.
All right, no doubt. But it's okay. Leave it alone. But yeah, man, I'm for it. I appreciate the protests and all that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even mad at the riots, you know. I think out of frustration, sometimes that's how we take out our anger, and it's somewhat therapeutic. You'll see this stuff happen sometimes, like on these VH1 shows where they doing like therapy sessions, how they let them like go into like an empty room of like stuff that they can break just to let out their anger. I liken it to that in a sense. I'm not for obviously breaking down and burning down Black-owned businesses, of course not. But I understand the frustration with the riots, and you know, I get it, man. And I'm for the protests. I'm for the peaceful protests. Whatever it's gonna take to make this a conversation. But I'm more focused on what's the next conversation. Like so phase one was, you know, protesting and rioting and all that good stuff. What's phase two? You know, I wonder, because it's almost like two different communities. You have a community that wants to assimilate, that wants to vote and believes that the system can work for us. Then you have a whole different community that's about separation, which I will honestly say I'm a part of, because I don't believe that the system will ever really truly work for us. So I would say that it's about group economics, and it's about building nations within a nation, if you will. Kind of like, you know, everybody, we see it done in different communities, man. Everybody seems to be able to do it except us, you know. So I'm for that, man. So, but you know, collectively, I'm not trying to be divisive. I'm for the complete movement, whatever is going to be in the best interest of our people at the end of the day.
Yes. And I'm glad you're speaking on this, because I've been speaking to a lot of people about this, family, friends, some of my subscribers they're non-Black, and they emailed me saying, you know, what can I do to help? And I had to be honest with them. I said, I shouldn't have to tell you what to do. Like some things should be from your heart, because it might not even feel organic if you do it. You know, so if I feel like, I told them, once you research, these are some things you can research. These are some orbs, maybe read about it. But if you're going to do something, you should want to do something first on your own. Because sometimes, and I told them, don't feel like I'm coming at you like disrespectful, but as a Black man, it seems sometimes it's like seeing from the past, white people come into the organization, do they want to take the lead? Are we here now? Like, hold up. This is still our battle. This is our fight we've been having for so long. And I think, you know, I think a lot of people have to understand, because separatism, you know, we're looking at that. We're looking about, you know, a lot of people think about repatriation. A lot of people thinking about, is there so many ways and fast is how we can actually move. Because like I said, it's easy for somebody to say, go back home. Hold on. No, my answers is built there. What are you talking about?
Bill, yeah, exactly.
We got both, the best of both worlds. You don't tell me what to do.
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact.
This is the best of both worlds. Our ancestors came here voluntarily and involuntarily. So
that's right. That's right.
So I try to just, educate, inform people by, using my platform. Of course, I do hip hop rap reactions, but at the same time, I still talk about these political issues that affect us on a day-by-day basis. Because if I don't say nothing, then it almost feels like I don't care. I just want you to watch my channel. Like, no, not necessarily. I feel like these type of stuff needs to be talked about. But going back to what's going on as far as like the protests, the revolts, everything, the police brutality, we still see Black people being murdered out here by police officers doing these protests, and the protests are still going on. How do you feel now? You see the NFL, Roger Goodell, you see certain coaches like Pete Carroll and maybe players like Drew Brees want to open up and say, oh, now we understand. Oh, maybe I should have signed them. Oh, no, I apologize for my comments. What you feel about that?
Man, I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you, man. That's hard, man, because, we want Cap back in the league. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a job for a Black man. You know what I mean? It's a job that he should have always had, So you want him to maintain his job and his employment, but at the same time, it's kind of like, man, forget them, bro. Like at this point, you know what I mean? Like you done started a whole movement, started a whole cause. I get it. If football's still in your heart, you still want to play. I understand that, but you done moved up to a whole different level. You're not just an athlete no more. You're a leader out here. People looking at you differently, man. So I don't know how to feel about how, whatever Roger Goodell and the NFL is talking about. But at the end of the day, we support Cap's decision. Whatever Cap want to do, we support it, man. We should support it.
Okay. Do you feel that he's like a hero for him to actually? What he did to me, it was like something that beyond, like we haven't seen nothing like this since Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali. To take that stance and not like, and there's no disrespect to him. It's not like he was like a Pro Bowl, Super Bowl champion, but he led his team to the Super Bowl. Did great in the playoffs a couple of years in a row. Do you feel like him taking that stance is more like it's like the blessing in disguise for him, because at the end of the day, he did something that a lot of people would never even think about doing, because a lot of people is like, I need to keep my money. I'm a censor myself.
Yeah, man. He sacrificed his career in a sense. I mean, the same way. I wouldn't say on the same level, but similar to how Muhammad Ali sacrificed his career. Muhammad Ali sacrificed his career for a couple of years, or that whole stint when they wanted him to go to the Vietnam War and all that, and he lost his championship belt and all that. Like, he sacrificed his career for our people. So the same thing with Cap. He sacrificed his career for our people. Whether he's considered a top tier, top of the line quarterback, that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, this is a man who sacrificed millions of dollars. And I know he received some type of payment, but during the time period he was out of work, he was sacrificing millions of dollars, for the Black cause, man. And that's, I mean, at the end of the day, we see all these celebrities, man. It seems like everybody is just a capitalist at the end of the day. And nobody really wants to lose money or put their money to the side or put their money where their mouth is and really be for the cause. And I feel like Cap did that, man. So we should always honor that brother as a hero, as somebody that sacrificed himself for the greater good of the people, for sure.
Shout out to Colin Kaepernick, y'all. Not just for him taking the knee and making that stance and sacrificing his life, but also the people that's in Minneapolis that's been going to jail. His organization has been bailing them out. Right there.
Yep, exactly.
So exactly. I just want to shout him out real quick, let people know, because a lot of people don't know that, but I'm just letting it be known.
That's a fact.
As far as B. the God, who is B. the God away from the mic, away from battle rapping, so people can kind of get a chance to know you more on that level?
Man, you hear it. I'm a father, man. I'm a full-time father, man, pretty much. yeah, I got my kids, man, you know, like 90% of the time, and I'm just, you know, full-time daddy mode, trying to make sure that their future is taken care of, and you know, trying to create a different future for them. Because I don't necessarily, like, I named my son Malcolm, out of showing respect to Malcolm X. Named my daughter Magi after the Magi warriors of ancient Nubia. But I don't necessarily want them to follow in my activism footsteps, because my hope would be that when they become of age, they don't have to put up this fight no more. You know, we would have already have fought the fight for them and laid down some groundwork to where they can live a normal, peaceful life without having to be out here fighting for, I don't want to say equality, but, you know, fighting for respect and just human rights. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to put in that work so that they don't have to do that. So yeah, that's me, man. Full-time father, man. That's the only title. Full-time father. That's all I can say.
I love it. I love it, man. You know, like I said, you know, there's a stigma about Black fathers, but nah, they out here.
Oh, that's a fact. Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, we out here in numbers, in huge numbers. So
yes. As far as yourself, where do you see yourself maybe after hip hop? Entrepreneur, manager? What's up with that?
Man, that's a really good question. I think that I'll probably end up transcending into just something educational based. You know, I don't know if I would call myself a teacher or anything like that, but I could see myself teaching on some level, whether it be doing lectures and, you know, going from college to college and, you know, doing seminars and lectures. I don't know. I could see myself doing something like that. I haven't quite mapped it out. I'm still in my music mind. I'm still in my music phase, but as I'm getting older, you know, I'm starting to phase out. I'm starting to think about the next phase of my life. So I could definitely see myself doing something like that, like giving lectures and teaching on some level. I'm a part of a nonprofit organization. So I'm starting to, I just became a part of a nonprofit organization. So I'm starting to dibble and dabble into that lane of things, you know, so I can see myself going in that direction pretty soon.
Okay. As far as rap, and we have upcoming rappers out here right now that's trying to get on, battle rappers. Do you have any advice for them coming into the industry per se?
Yeah, I would say just always follow your heart, man. We're in different times where a record label is not necessarily needed. I mean, it's a plus, it's a bonus, because they can put up the money that you probably can't for yourself. But I would always say follow your heart. If something doesn't feel right, if you're passionate about your artistry and about what you're saying and the music that you're creating, and if you go into any type of potential business deal and it doesn't feel right, follow your heart, man. Because I done made multiple mistakes, man, like countless mistakes, just trying to chase a bag or just trying to be successful. And it ended up landing me back at ground zero anyways. So I could have just stayed doing it myself anyway. So that'd probably be my best advice to anybody like coming up, man. Just believe in yourself, study the game, study the industry, and realize that you could potentially do it yourself if you do it smart enough, if you're disciplined, and if you're gonna give it 110%, you can achieve success yourself. So that would be my advice.
Okay. Do you recommend going independent or signing to a label?
It's tricky, man. Again, if you have a label situation that benefits you, absolutely. You know, and it depends on what your goals are too. You know, if you're trying to be a very, very popular artist, if you make like, you know, if you're making like these radio jingles and these club hits, if that's your thing, then yeah, you know, you can potentially land a big deal, land a big contract. And you can also do that independently, because we're in a different day and age. We're in a day and age where we can get the music straight to the consumer, like straight to y'all. So it just depends on what you want to do. Somebody like me that's like a conscious rapper and has different goals, I would say stay independent. You know what I mean? Stay independent, because you don't want anybody trying to talk you out of your message and your agenda musically. You know what I mean? So conscious artists, I would say stay independent. We could do it our own with our own niche market and people that really like what we do. We could do it our own. If you are a artist that's trying to make it big and big time artist, then yeah, you know, you see what the contracts is talking about, see what they, make sure you lawyer it up, make sure you got a good manager, you know, all that good stuff, and see what they talking about. And if it don't sit right with your spirit, if it don't sit right with your soul, don't be discouraged and don't feel like you have to do it. You can still do it on your own, you know? So that's what I would say.
Okay, that's right. That's right. That's right. Thank you for that advice for them so they can know. If you can pick some rappers right now, some artists, if you was putting together like a mixtape EP, who are some of the artists right now that you would like to work with? You know, like, you know, I'm gonna put this person on the track. Who is somebody, you know, I know you got some people out there.
Oh man, yeah, I would love to. I've worked with Kendrick in the past, but I would love to work with Kendrick Lamar again.
Okay.
Of course, J. Cole. Man, Black Thought. Q-Tip. I'm a big Q-Tip fan. And who else? I would say those people off the top of my head. I would like to work with. Yeah, off the top of my head. I would have to really sit down and create a list, but off the top of my head, those people. Yeah. Okay. For sure.
Who you bumping right now, man? Right now, your iPad, Android. I don't know what you got, but who you playing right now on your phone?
Still Nipsey, man. I'm still playing Nipsey, man.
Okay.
I play Nipsey every day. Nipsey give me life, man. Nipsey. His music is inspirational. It's street, it's hood, and it's still inspirational. It's still divine. You know what I mean? So I'm playing Nipsey every day. When I do my little runs and my jogs and my workouts, I'm playing Nipsey still, man.
That's right. That's right. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Rise in power Absolutely. To him also and his family, sending positive energy their way.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a good question. Any solutions you have for people maybe feeling like they're stuck between, you know, like a rock, like, dang, I don't know what to do after the protest. And then maybe, you know, because people they're looking at different entertainers, rappers, scholars, whoever that's out here and they're talking. What would be one of like maybe a solution you can throw out to some people that feeling like, what is my next step to do if I don't go protest, or if I am protesting, like I'm confused what to do next?
I would say the next step has to be some type of economic step, some type of financial step. So I would say just to practice group economics in whatever fashion that is for you, whether that's supporting your if you have a black bank in your area. What you need? I thought you were going potty. If you have a black bank in your area, shopping online to support black businesses, that would be my first step. It's a baby step, but it's just to marry in your brain to marry the idea of group economics. You know what I'm saying? Just to be comfortable, start to be comfortable spending your money with black owned businesses. That's to me, that's the first step. And then we could do that on a larger scale once we start being comfortable with spending our money with one another. I think, you know, black folks, we have this thing with one another, especially when it comes to black owned businesses, and you feel like everything needs to be you're going to critique and judge a black owned business that's only been up and running for 2 years. You're going to critique it on the same level as a company that's been around for 100 years, and you expect the same type of like quality and standards. But it's kind of like, you got to give our people time to be successful and get you the best product that we potentially can. So it's about, so when you're spending your money with each other, it's not about so much the product as it is just showing that company that you believe in what they're doing and you're trying to support, so they can one day get on the level of the competition, you know? So I would say, yeah, group economics would be the first step, man, for sure.
Yes, y'all. If y'all want to know more about some group economics, please read Dr. Claude Anderson. He has
I was going to beat you to it. I was going to beat you to it. There you go, brother. There you go, brother.
There's some good people out there, y'all, that y'all can follow. And like I said, support a black-owned business. I know you can't support all of them, but just pick one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's not a taboo. You just pick one, though, because there's a lot of black businesses I support. I don't support all because I'm limited with money my damn self. So at the same time, though, I like to recycle the black dollar. It means everything to me. You know, so not just in this country, but throughout the diaspora, it means a lot. Absolutely. Because we definitely need that connection, you know, and especially if we're going to, you know, make major moves. I have another question. Last several days, I know you probably seen on the news, the hangings in Palmdale, Victorville.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, man? And excuse me, before you even answer that, not just there, we're talking about Tennessee, Florida, and South Africa too.
Yeah, I'm very angry. In fact, I have my children today. I was hoping to drop them off today so I can have some free time, because I was gonna head up to Palmdale. I'm not too far from Palmdale because I'm in Santa Clarita right now. So I wanted to head out there to Palmdale and really get out there with the people and kind of get an ear about what's really going on. I'm highly upset. I'm highly upset, man. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I'm just highly upset. I just, I don't know. It's just anger, fury, rage, and anger. You know what I'm saying? That we in 2020 and this is still happening. And it has to be orchestrated and organized because that's a very difficult thing to do. You know what I mean? To literally hang somebody from a tree. I would think that it would take multiple people to do that. You know what I'm saying? It would have to be, especially in where the brother was hung at, which was in front of a library. You know what I mean? So it would have to be like organized, and it would have to be quick and in and out. Like, so to me, it's just so evil and just so sinister. So yeah, I'm just highly upset, man. And I'm not gonna lie, that the regular, I don't want to say the word, but the regular street dude in me wants to retaliate in some form or fashion, or wants to do something about it. But we have to be strategic, and we have to be cautious and not just throw ourselves out there. But yeah, I'm very angry about that, bro. I'm very angry. I really want to get out there and just hear the people in the area and see what they have to say about what's going on.
Yeah, it's very upsetting, to my spirit. Just when I read that and putting that information on my channel, but at the same time, though, I already know what this is. You're pushing chess pieces forward now. Like, this is what we doing. If y'all want to do this, we're doing this. So, like I just told my wife 2 hours ago, I said, all this is Jim Crow Black Holes 2.0. We're bringing this to you again. And she agreed. I said, this is all they doing is saying, we're going to give you the upgraded version now. Y'all talking about when people say that stuff don't happen no more, because we'll bring it to you. We'll bring the past to the present.
Right back to you. Yeah.
Right back to you. How do you feel about Kyrie Irving? And I love Kyrie Irving, just his stance, how he feels like right now the basketball players shouldn't play next month in Orlando, Florida, and they should be worried about this social reform right now. How do you feel about him taking that stance and getting all these players on Zoom to say, listen, we need to be focused with this? Then you have people like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, and all these people trying to attack him, saying he's wrong, that he needs to be quiet, he needs to get out there and just play basketball.
Yeah, man, that's an interesting one. I agree with Kyrie, but I want them to actually do something. Like, I would hate for them to just sit out and that's just it. These brothers got millions of dollars, so don't just sit out. If you guys are going to collectively band together, then form some type of union or some type of group of athletes, NBA players, or even NFL players, whomever. Form like some type of union, some type of organization. Put your money together and do something with that money. Like fund our Black ideas. Like, do something that's really going to help us. I would hate for y'all to just like sit out as some sort of protest and just for no reason. For one, you could be collecting money, you know what I'm saying? As Black men, you could be out there collecting money that could potentially go to a cause. And for two, it's just like, just don't waste time. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm with it, and I love what he's saying, and he's absolutely right. But I just want to see the follow-up action to that. Okay, we're gonna set out, we're not gonna play, and here's what we're gonna do instead. Not just, hey, we're gonna set out, we're not gonna play because of what's going on in the streets. I just want to see them actually put their money where their mouth is and really, really do something collectively as a group, because they got so much money together. You know what I mean? So I would love to see that as the next step. But yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, and I love that he's stepping up like that. That's dope.
Yeah, that made me feel good. That made me feel real good. I'm very happy. But like, I agree with you. I don't want them just, all right, we're just gonna sit around. Like, no, please do something. I understand some people gotta eat, but at the same time, though, it's like, if y'all saying this is a pandemic and all this stuff is going on, why you want them to risk their lives anyway? It's like, so it's like, huh?
Yeah, it's
you
weird.
Want them, you don't want them playing, but you want them playing.
Yeah, of course. It's money. It's capitalistic world. It's about the money, of course. Yeah. But again, man, if they're not gonna play, man, just please do something productive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think one of the last things I'll probably ask you is just anything you want to just let people know, just in general, about whatever, just like anything that's going on in the world, just whatever. This is your chance to just let them know, man.
I would say, man, we're at a really pivotal time in history. I really believe that. I really believe that if white supremacy is a systemic oppression mechanism, if you will, that we are deconstructing that at the current moment. And I would want to say to everybody, keep your foot on the gas. Don't get comfortable, man. You know, they're going to try to pacify you with entertainment and all this other stuff. I see everybody talking about the PS5 coming out now. Like, we can easily get distracted. I want a PS5 too. I'm not going to hold you, but that's not going to stop me from doing the work. You know what I mean? So it's like, listen, don't let this stuff distract you and pacify you. And I guess this message is more so for the casual activists, you know, because brothers like you and myself, we've been out here on the field front line and then with this mentality forever, you know, and it seems like everybody's on board now because of rest in power to brother George Floyd's passing. But I feel like these same people that just got on board, they could be easily coerced into not being on board. You know what I mean? So I would say to those people, keep up the fight, man, because we're in a very pivotal time in history. And if you keep up the fight, you know, and if we all keep up the fight collectively, you know, who knows where this can go, you know? Hello? Yeah, who knows where this can go, man? This could actually be the shift that we all been talking about, you know what I mean? This could actually be, we can actually dismantle this mechanism, this systemic oppression that we call white supremacy. We can actually, like, put an end to it. It's gonna take some time, but I'm just saying, if we keep our foot on the gas, man, we can actually destroy it. You know what I mean? So I would hate for us to be like, just to make a sports analogy, we in the fourth quarter, we almost there and we give up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they go back up 20 points and game over. So yeah, man, I would just say that to everybody that's like on the fence or just got on board with the movement, stay on it. You know, stay on it. Don't fall off. That's what I would say.
You know, I'm sorry. Last question. It just came to my mind because it connects. Reparations. What you feel about? Because they pushing this right now more. They're trying to, you know, bring that, you know, to the forefront about reparation. Everything that's going on. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I believe in reparations. I think I'm a little conflicted on how it should be allocated, though. I do not think that the average Black person is financially savvy enough or has the understanding on how economics work to just receive a check. You know, I think that we consume too much. We have this idea of consumption and wanting to level up on other people around us, and that's just a byproduct of racism and a byproduct of slavery that is embedded in our brains, unfortunately. But I don't think we're in a position right now to just be receiving checks. I would rather see that type of, maybe we can receive a check per individual, but also I would like to see money go into certain organizations or certain funds or certain community-based groups that are about cleaning up our communities and cleaning up our educational system and things of that nature. So I would like to see reparations and allocated a lot of different ways, not just, okay, we're gonna cut every descendant of a slave, we're gonna cut you guys a check. I feel like that'll, you know, people just run through their money and we'll be back in the same situation. I want to see something better for the future. So I want to see us allocate that money properly for the babies coming up. You know what I mean? That would be my agenda.
Okay. This video, like I said, I have subscribers all over, man. I got people from Australia, New Zealand, UK, Spain, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, of course, the US, Barbados, Jamaica, Brazil, Japan, Philippines, Thailand. I mean, they all over, brother. So they're going to hear you, which is a blessing. And
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Let the people know your social media username accounts so they can follow you.
Yeah, for sure. On Instagram, it's b.thegod, and it's an underscore between each word. So b_DOT_the THE_God, GOD. That's on Instagram. On Twitter, it's b.thegod, straight through, no underscores, just b.thegod. On Facebook, it's b.thegod, straight through, no underscores. Yeah, just those three social media platforms you can find me on. I'm very active on all of them. So I answer messages. I talk to the people, man. So yeah, hit me up on any one of those, man. I'm on there for sure.
Okay, everybody, I will put that information in the description. So I'm like, I'm gonna put it in the description for y'all so we can support him. Please, y'all, please stream his music. Check out his battle raps. If you never seen him battle rap, he's a beast, man.
Yeah, just go to YouTube.
Real. So trust me, I was very impressed. I was like, damn, he's real tight. But I just want to say from, you know, the bottom of my heart and from Kofi Universe, and not just me, but for the subs, because I do this really for the subs.
Yeah.
It's an honor and a privilege to have you here, brother. The platform is always open to you to come here no matter what. If you ever want to just come and say, hey, man, can I talk about something? You can always use my platform for that. I will always help and promote you. If you drop an EP, I'll review it, put a review up there, react to one of your reactions to get you out there. I have no problem doing that because I love, you know, reciprocating the love back to people that bless me. That's the only way the universe works.
That's love, bro. That's love, definitely. And I'll keep that in mind, man. I definitely keep that in mind. If ever I want to, you know, chit chat about something, if I got something to, you know, get off my chest, I can hit you up. We can build on here, man. That's love for sure.
Yes. Yes. So just want to let everybody know, like I said, beat out the God, man, scholar, hip hop MC, rapper, father.
Thank you, bro. Yeah.
he's the real Imhotep, y'all. Before the Renaissance,
Thank you,
this
brother.
is the real Imhotep. You know, multi-genius, doing it right here in the 21st century. Please check him out. Like I said, if anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, my energy right now is not about just me subscribing to my channel. Follow him.
Thank you, brother.
You subscribe to me, don't get me wrong, but follow him right now. Let's push him. Let's get him at a level that he's up there in the millions of followers, so people can
Thank you, brother.
Message and get out what's going on, because there's a lot of people that need to be heard right now that's really out here, not just in theory, but they're here with application. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say till next time, everybody, peace and blessings, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.